trauma, but I don't know. You say no one knows you so well, but every time you touch me, I just wanna run for help. Valentine's Day, crying in my hotel, that I know you didn't mean to hurt me, so I kept it to myself. I don't know, maybe that's just my mind doing what my mind does. As a, I hate that word, but as someone who survived a few very traumatic life things, life situations, life scenarios, I don't know, that version of that, well, my own little made up added parts of that version, I don't know, it hits harder a little bit, especially because that's things like I'm working on currently. It hits harder, like what? But I see her in the back of my mind every time, like a fever, like I'm burning alive in my mind. You say no one knows you so well, but every time you touch me, I just wanna run and tell. Valentine's Day, crying in the hotel, said you didn't mean to hurt me, so I kept it to myself. That puts a different feeling on it, don't it? Trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning, right? So since it's bringing up that, I'm gonna talk about this one moment, right? And we building, right? We building to more of the in-depth story of Mai'reeeeee. But my whole life, I grew up in church. My whole life, like from the moment I was in my mom's stomach to the moment she gave birth to me, like whole life I've been in church, right? And my church, or well, my old church was predominantly family. Like I would say 75% of them people in that building was family members. And I remember, like, first of all, time of the month for me when I was younger, like teenager, like 17, 18, the time of the month for me was always horrendous. I mean, like doubled over, could barely walk, had to like miss school sometimes. Like it was always painful. It's terribly painful for me. But I remember one time, or actually let me rewind, right? So I look like a lot of my family members. There's a lot of people in my family that I do resemble, and there's a lot of weirdness because of that. Not specifically that, but because I do look like very much a lot like people around me. Whenever anybody outside of the family would come into the family and they resembled me, it was always like, oh, you're dating somebody that looks like her. Oh, that's so cute, ain't it? Oh, y'all twins. Da, 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 da. Me personally, it makes me very uncomfortable. I really don't like that. I really, truly do not like that at all. And when I was younger, still around people in my family that would like make that a thing, like, oh, this is funny, isn't it? Type of thing, I would just stay quiet because it was like, okay, well, whatever. Like, it is making me uncomfortable, but everybody else laughing, so it really don't matter, I guess, right? Whatever, right? That was a younger mindset. I'm not like that no more. But anyway, right? I had this one family member who started dating this one woman who really looked like me. I mean, truly looked like me. Like, we could be, like, resembled. I mean, we could be related somewhere down the line. That's really what that person looked like. And people would, like, make it a thing. Mind you, a lot of my older cousins I was not very close with. I had, like, one little group of cousins that was, like, the same age as me. We was all sisters. Like, we were very close, but the rest of them, I was not very close to any of my older cousins, because mind you, it's like age gaps between us. Yeah, so that cousin that was dating the person that looked very much like me, like, it was always a thing. Anytime I was around, it was always brought up, and I did not like that. So anyway, I say all of that to say, one time, right, when I used to go to church, when I used to go to that church, it was that time of month, and it was very painful, very super painful, all over my body, to the point where I had to double over the pews to find, like, some type of relief. And I was comfortable because it's after church, nobody's here, I'm covered, and there's all females upstairs, so I'm gonna just double over for like 2 minutes so I could, like, relieve this pressure. That's how I was feeling, right? The cousin that's dating the person that resembles me heavily, very heavily, he comes up the stairs. Mind you, I didn't know that he was coming up the stairs, because in pain, I was trying to, like, alleviate my pain. And it wasn't nothing provocative. It wasn't nothing, either way, that has nothing to do with it. Like, right? That don't matter. It don't matter if I was standing up with a bikini on. Family means family. Do not do anything inappropriate with family, period. Period. Either way, right? I'm doubled over the bench trying to alleviate pain. This person walks up the stairs for some reason. And mind you, let me make this very clear. I do not have touchy-feely relationships with nobody in my life, for real. Especially at that point, I was barely hugging people. So me and physical touch was basically like a keep the distance, please. I'll only hug people if I felt comfortable with them, because at a very, very young age, I was sexually abused, sexually misused, sexually mistreated by a lot of different people, and that went all the way up to my early 20s. But I say that to say I was not very touchy-feely with anybody. And a few people I was touchy-feely with was barely anything. Either a side hug, a little, like, little tiny hug, or, you know, if I really, really was, like, close to you, which was not a lot of people, it was very prolonged hugs. But they never went past that, right? Anyway, I say that to say, again, bent over the pew trying to find relief for these terrible, horrible cramps. And the cousin that's dating the person that could look like they are related to me walks up the stairs, sees me doubled over the bench, and decides to slap my behind. Let me reiterate, I don't have that relationship with anybody, especially at that point in my life. I did not have that with anybody. And the fact that I'm not close to that person, and the fact that they're already dating somebody that resembles me, which is already weird, and, you know, it makes me feel weird enough. The fact that me and that person are not cool, even though family is there, we're not cool, for you to feel like, you know, to feel like that was okay, it set me off. And I'm glad that I had the cousins that I was close to that was there in that moment, because it did trigger me. It triggered me a lot, to the point where I stopped going to church. I mean, that was one of the reasons. But to the point where I just didn't want to be around nobody, because it's like, I'm really, Like, this is already a theme in my life at that point. That point, it's already been a theme for over 10 years. So the fact that it is still continuing and I thought it stopped, really? Like, I know a lot of people is going to be like, oh, that wasn't that. No, no. When you go through things and when you have to adjust and realize, oh, that wasn't normal. This wasn't normal. Oh, I wasn't protected at all because this happened and this happened and that person did this and this person did that, but nobody said anything. That's not normal. When you have to go through that in your own head and you're shutting down on a daily basis because of things like that, well, deeper things, but because they start off like things like that, it's like, I don't know, that moment had me spiraling for a little bit when I was younger because I felt like, bro, when does this stop? When does it end? Will it ever end? Will this ever be like a thing that does not occur to me? And like, even talking about it now, I'm feeling the way I was feeling then. And I wish somebody would have stepped in at least. I mean, like I said, the cousins that I considered my sisters, they was definitely there for me. They was definitely there for me because even though I wasn't as vocal about everything that was going on with me, a lot of people could pick up and see the hurt and all the depression and the sadness and all of that. Like, they could see that on a daily basis because I was in a very dark place years ago. Like, I was the person that you go to church and I mean, I don't know if a lot of y'all grew up in church, but like you go to church and sometimes you have the revivals and the youth services and all of that lasts like a whole week. They call that the conventions and all of that. It lasts a whole week. I was the one that was always getting called out when the preacher was up there prophesying, picking out people, giving them the message that God gave to them. I would try to hide because it's like, okay, I'm hurting enough. I came here to sing a little song and, basically get my star for attendance and that's it. Like, I don't need to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing. Like, I was numb. I was very numb and I wanted to end it all every day. Every day I wanted to end it all and I didn't have the courage most of the times. Sometimes I did try, and when I would fail, I would feel even worse, and then I would do other things to at least help me feel something. Never drugs, but if you've been there, you understand what I'm saying. But and that sucks that you've been there to understand what I'm saying. But yeah, when I was going to church and hiding and just hoping that I could hurry up and get done and bringing my little books so I could just, travel in my mind and escape reality in my mind, I will always get picked on. Not really picked on like, not like that. Like, they would single me out and always, like, deliver every single message. And it would just break me down so bad. Like, when people talking about, I mean, I love God. But sometimes the people are misguided. And it took a lot of people from outside to see the pain that I was actually going through because a lot of people in that church that I was in thought, oh, you're sad because your cousins aren't here, or oh, you must be sad because you broke something childish, or oh, you must be sad for some childish reason. No, honey, I'm sad because I want to not be on this earth. I'm sad because there's a recurring theme in my life where I'm just used and abused and tossed to the side and nobody cares about the vessel. They just care about the commodity that they turned the vessel into. They just care about the fruit that the tree is going to bear, not caring if they rip the roots out the ground. You feel me? Like, I was hurting, and a lot of people saw me hurting and they misconstrued the hurt Or they thought, oh, nothing is really wrong with that child because she's a child, not knowing that I was going through adult things, not knowing that I did not want to be on this world, not knowing that I attempted to not be on this world 4 times and did not succeed. Thank you, Jesus. But still, like, it was in those times of being called out, of being like prophesied to, of being like picked out, even though I did not want to even be seen. I wanted to be ignored. I wanted to be forgotten. It was in those moments where God never forgot me. Now I can't talk. He never forgot me, ever. When they say unconditional love, yeah, that's what God really truly is for me. Unconditional love. That's what he is for everybody, but people don't really see that. Anyway, my little tangent. ADHD, y'all. Unmedicated ADHD, man. If you're getting me. But yeah, nah. I'm saying all of that to say, because I know a lot of people are probably going to find this video one of these days and misconstrue the fact that I'm spiritual. Yes, I'm spiritual. Yes, I have crystals. Yes, I have cards. Yes, I get readings because that's how God talks to me. Like, when I first moved to this place that I'm at right now, and I mean, there's people that probably know where I live on here, and I hope y'all never say it, because I've had weirdos, I've had stalkers, I've had physical stalkers, energetic stalkers. I don't need no more stalking. So yeah, I ain't gonna say where I live. But yeah, when I first moved to this area, I didn't know nothing about it, and I was like very, very heavily doubting everything about myself. I was not feeling like I was special. I was not feeling like I had any purpose in my life. So I took a little roundaway job at a Wawa. There's 50,000 Wawas all over the place. I never wanted to work at a Wawa. I never thought about working at one in my hometown. And then I moved to where I'm at now, and it's like, why not? They hiring, so might as well. When I tell you, and I worked overnight, like overnight. When I tell you, there would be drunk people coming in there and speaking life into me, and then 2 seconds later they back to talking drunk. I'm like, yeah, I know that's nothing but God. When I tell you, my manager at that Wawa told me I don't belong there, that I'm meant for more, when I didn't even see it, nothing but God. Like, drunk people, consistently coming in there, speaking life, telling me I'm better, telling me I deserve greater. A person while I'm stocking the shelves in the back. God is using these people. And I know that he's using these people, because even though I'm in my darkest moments, even though I'm in the darkest hour of my life, I can see God through them. Because as soon as they're done talking, they go right back to as if they don't even know what just occurred. Like, that's why I want people to be aware that this is a Christ consciousness spirituality. Okay? God is with me through my whole thing. I used to pray all the time for God to talk to me, like, guide me, lead me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, help me. And like, a few times I had to realize this is the life I'm living is my answered prayer. Even though I'm not exactly where I want to be at, even though I still have time to get to my purpose, I still have healing to do to get to my purpose, I'm realizing, like, God brought me through all of that so that he can be like, here, now help. You've been there, so now help. You know how to help, so now do it. Like, that's what I'm feeling. The more I heal, the more I meditate, I pray every single day. Every single day. You cannot tell me that God don't be hearing me. Personally, I know he be hearing me. So I only say that because, I don't know, that song Wildflower was bringing up, even though I know she's talking about a love situation, I know she's talking about romantic, this, that, and the third. It's like, but I see her in the back of my mind every time, like a fever, like I'm burning alive, like the sun. Did I cross the line? Like, what? I know she's talking about romance, but that feels like a personal letter to myself. Like, yeah, I see you hurting. I see you in that moment of distress and feeling like there was no way out. Like, I see that. And I'm healing that. And I love that so much for me. Like, what? But anyway, like I was saying, right? ADHD. But yeah, in that moment, when that cousin did that, I saw me burning inside. I felt me burning up, like the fire that just wanted to escape and consume everything, tear everything to the ground, destroy, destroy, destroy. That's how I felt. And that's what this song reminds me of, that feeling. But you didn't mean to hurt me, so I kept it to myself. It's a lot of, not a lot, it's a few songs that will project me to those moments of when people just did too much. And I just need to vocalize it so I can release that feeling. Because it doesn't have the same effect on me now that it did then, but it's still there. Like, I still have to heal the inner child. I still have to take care of my inner teenager. Like, the little girl that just saw these things happening and just let it happen because that was the theme of my life. I'm here to be abused by people. That's what I convinced myself at one point. Like, what? When I started getting into astrology, a lot of things was like, kind of like, that is why you are here. And I'm like, nah, it gotta be a different reason. Like, what? It has to be a different meaning for this stuff. Like, this crap should not be happening. Regular people don't go through this, so why do I have to go through this? Am I not regular? Apparently not. Apparently I am not regular. But yeah, people don't understand the effect that even something that little, something that minor to you, right? The effect of something that minuscule to you can ruin somebody's whole trajectory in life. Like, and at that point in my life, I thought I was conquering how I was feeling. I thought I was getting better with how I was feeling. Yeah, heavily depressed. Yeah, heavily sad. Yeah, still wanting to, exit planet Earth. But I thought I was at least doing a little better. And when that happened, it pushed me back. It did. It stopped me a little bit. And it made me just spiral. Because it's like, bruh, again. And things happen after that with different people, way worse. But more of the story is, just because it's small to you does not mean it's not causing an avalanche to somebody else's life. Like, just because you yell up the mountain, nothing happened to you, don't mean that the other side of the mountain didn't tumble over and trample 15 people by now. Like, there is always an effect to the cause. There is always a reason for why. There is always a why for the reason. Like, I don't know. But that just felt like it needed to come out. There's more that I have to talk about, get out, whatever. But I don't know. That felt like it needed to be spoken. So I spoke it. Yeah. I'm a thriver. I'm not a survivor. I thrive from my pain. I don't survive it. I'm done surviving it. I was in survival mode for 27 years of my life. Year 28 will be the year of thriving, and I'm speaking that into existence right now because, yeah, God listens to me. I'm manifesting the thriving, the uplifting now. I've been through worse things. I've been through the things that could have and should have taken me out of here. I've been in car accidents where I've seen, like, okay, well, like the calmness that washed over me when I was in them car accidents is unnatural. And not just because of gifts, not just because of who I am spiritually, not none of that. The fact that I was just like, okay, God, okay. While the car is spinning, hit the divider, hit the other one, turn it. The driver gotta get pulled out the car. I just open the door and walk out. Like, God kept me for multiple reasons. I'm just now learning what those are at 28, my thriving year. So it's never too late for anybody. It's never too late for nothing. We're not on a time speed. What? We're not on a time frame. Life is not sectioned in time frames. Your life is moving at the exact pace it needs to move at the exact time it has to move for it to happen. And just because you went through the worst things that make you feel broken, that make you feel unloved, that make you feel dirty, unworthy, unwealthy, like whatever you've gone through that makes you feel like that, understand the why. Don't try to understand the reason. Understand the purpose. And it'll drive you crazy. It'll drive you insane, because my experiences almost drove me insane. Certifiably insane. But it was always something in there like, nah, I'm stronger than that. I ain't gonna let that. Nah, you're not even getting that far. It was God in me, because, like I said, been in church from a child to like early teenage years, mid-teenage years. It was God. That relationship with God had to be tested truly, so that I can be the testimony like, hey, there's somebody up there. God, the universe, spirit guides, higher vibrational beings, they're all working together for me, like for my good, because the things that I've gone through that should have broken me down, it's like, I don't know if a lot of y'all watch anime. I watch anything good. If it's good TV, I'm watching it. I like animes. I like the psychological thrillers. I like, the detective ones, the ones that make me think. I like those. But it was this one anime, Demon Slayer. They have when they get specific swords, it was this one episode, the demons was attacking them all over the place. But the swordsman, he just kept going, kept forging that iron. That's my life. From birth to, I want to say, 23. That was me. I was being attacked at all sides by all things. Whatever. Some things I didn't even realize was attacks. And it was just forging my steel. And isn't that crazy? To get the highest grade of something, you have to beat it repeatedly. Insanity. But that's me. To get the highest grade, and I'm realizing that now, to get the highest grade of my spirituality, of my gifts, of what God gave to me, to get the highest grade of that, I had to be tested repeatedly to see if this sword would break. And it did not. Cracked a little bit, had a little surface wounds, but it ain't break. It just had to be reforged. And that's what's going on now in my life right now. That is the reason for this page. That is the reason for this journey. That is the reason for my purpose. Whatever my purpose is, I need to be reforged. I have new tests. I have new things. Okay, we came out the fire. Now let's see how we can handle the water. Let's see how we can handle the cold. Let's see how we can handle these things. Like, that's how I'm feeling life is going for me now. And I'm getting to know God for myself. Like, what? I keep telling myself one of these days I'm going to read the Bible from cover to cover. And I need to. I'm going to. I really do need to. But it took me some time to realize I was not religious. It took me some time to realize the environment that I grew up in. A lot of issues, a lot of problems, a lot of pain, a lot of hurts, a lot of things that's swept under the rug all the time. A lot of issues that still don't get talking about to this day. But yeah, I'm decoding the code. Decoding the code. Breaking the cycles and decoding the code. And it's hard. And it's unfortunate when you start realizing certain things about certain people. You start seeing certain aspects of these people. And it's like, okay, I need to separate. I need to separate. Because this is not bringing me closer to God. This is taking me away from it. So I need to separate these people from my life. I need to separate these people from my purpose. I need to separate these people from my path. And I'm not just like, literally, if you have a church, a good church, then you feel the spirit move and you can wholeheartedly agree with every word that the preacher is saying, and the music moves you and God talks to you in church, by all means, keep going. But me personally, I heard God in isolation, because the things that were being spoken over my life in the crowd was taking me away from God. Isn't that crazy? The things that were being pushed onto me from the crowd was taking me away from God. And so now this is my journey back to God. This is my journey to know God for me. This is my journey into spiritual, like true spiritual growth. Like, that's what I'm on here for. And hey, if you don't align with the Christ conscious, spiritual journey, there's no beef. There's no beef. Live your life. Go ahead. I don't know. Like, I ain't gonna say I don't know, because I know my grandmother on my mom's side and my grandfather on my mom's side, they was very, very much like fire, brimstone, heavy Jesus, heavy Jesus. And I mean, my lineage has a lot in it. And I know the most that I know about is Haitian side. But hey, to each his own. I believe in God. in the universe and high vibrational beings and ancestors and spirit guides and spirit families. And, you know, that's what I believe. That's what I, you know, have around me. Whatever you believe, whatever you practice is your business. I don't force nothing on nobody. But just understand, like, when you deal in light, when you deal in love, when you deal in peace, those same things will come back to you. If you deal in darkness, if you deal in hatred, if you deal in evil things, those things will come back to you. So, you know, I'm not too well versed on karma. Some people say karma is the life that you are currently living, and some people say karma is the thing that you get back when you do things to others. Either way, boomerang effect. Whatever you put out there is gonna come right back to you. That's how I see it. So be kind to people. It's easier to talk to my phone camera than to like vocalize this to people. But I'm not even in the process. I'm not gonna lie. Soon I will get started on looking for a new therapist. Like I said last time, the lady was cool. It just was not my vibe, and I need to find somebody that's my vibe. I'm not settling for cool anymore. Now I need something that fits, like puzzle piece putting together. I just need that, and I don't know it when I find it. Right now, it ain't there yet. But yeah, therapy after this wedding, because yes, the funds, the funds. But therapy will be my next thing. There'll be more crying days. There'll be more times I'm coming on here holding back tears, smiling. I'm good for it. But yeah, this is growth. This is maturation. This is a long time coming. And I'm not doing this to get famous. I'm not doing this for views. I'm not doing this to become a content creator. No, I'm doing this because now I'm seeing there's more people out there that's been through the things that I've been through, at least similar. Like, there's more people out there that I can help just by speaking, because sometimes people are not ready to talk. Sometimes people are not ready to feel that. Sometimes people can't afford therapy. Sometimes in the neighborhoods that people grow up in, I know in the neighborhood I grew up in, is looked down upon. Like, bettering yourself should never be like one of them things that people could judge. Don't let somebody judge the way you better yourself. As long as you're not harming anybody, as long as you're not harming yourself, if it's bringing better to you, don't let anybody tell you that the way you're going about it is wrong, okay? Like, that's one of the reasons for this page. Healing freedom, the freedom to heal the way that you need to, the freedom to realize the things that you need to heal from, the freedom to realize, hey, that was not right. This person did something to me and that was not right. And everybody around me acted like it was right. It was not right. It was not okay. And it was very wrong. Just because that person or those people didn't think it was wrong, it was very wrong. It was very wrong. Very wrong, okay? So, yeah, I'm making this page, or this page is for the thrivers and the survivors, for the people that's still trying to cope with the fact that it happened to them, for the people that's still trying to heal from the fact that it happened to them. Like, if you don't understand, it takes a toll mentally, physically, verbally, all of that. It takes a toll on everything. And when you have prolonged destruction, it takes a toll. Like, it takes a toll, and this is work to get back from that. Like, I've been healing and working on me for way longer than just this moment, because it had to happen in sections. I couldn't do it all at once, or else I truly would not have been here talking at all, talking a lot. I would not have been here if I had to do it all at once. So I had to work on it sectionally. And now I'm seeing the puzzle. The puzzle is fitting. The puzzle is fitting. So hopefully this video aligns with whoever it needs to align with. Hopefully, if you are here, you can find comfort in the fact that you are not alone. There is this dark-skinned, big-mouth girl from Jersey that know how you feel, okay? And I want to talk about that with y'all. Like, eventually, I'll be able to go live. Eventually, I'll be able to talk to people. Eventually, I'll be able to, like, share stories and make this a safe place. That's what I want. I want this to be a place where people could come, share their stories, cry it out, find some healing, find some community where they can understand you are not alone. This happened to you, but you are not that product of what happened. You are better than that. We want to understand that we are better than that. We want to understand that we are here for a reason. Everybody on this earth is here for a purpose, whether you know it or not. Your purpose is already written. You just got to figure out what ink it's in. You feel me? Figure out what paper they used, okay? Because maybe they wrote it down on the graph paper, but you flipping through the printer paper trying to find your purpose, you know? Maybe it's just in a different section. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I want. I want a safe place. Hopefully the people that want a safe place could come and we can make this safe. That's what I need. I want something that I needed, okay? I want to create something that I needed desperately. Because when I was going through the worst, therapy was nowhere on my register at all. Like, it wasn't even in my mind. Because I'm like, there's nobody in this earth that understands what I'm going through. Nobody in this earth that knows how I'm feeling. But there was millions. There's millions of people that have been through this and worse, way worse. And my situation was terrible, but there's people that have been through worse than that. And I want everybody that's been through something terrible like that in their life, that they still have to heal from, that they don't vocalize, or maybe they do vocalize and it still holds a little piece of them. I want y'all to feel seen and heard. I see you, I feel you, I've been there multiple times. So there's no room for shame here. No room for that, because you didn't do it to yourself. So there's no room for shame on this page. This is a very safe space. Come here, share your stories. Let's heal. I want to heal together, because I am finally making progress with my healing. I want to help others to heal. I want to start that up for y'all. But I'm tired and it's late. It's like 2-something in the morning. And I got off of work at 11-something. But yeah, just felt like I needed to get that out of there. Be more vocal and stuff. I'm proud of myself. This has been so much growth. And it just turned to September. I started this part of my healing in June. It just turned to September. Like, I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of myself, y'all. I'm going to stay consistent with this. Last month, really, it was a lot. But I got some clarity on that situation. And I'm going to just be in the present. I'm going to be in the present. And that's it. But I'll talk to y'all some other time. Do yourselves a favor and just thank yourselves for bringing you this far. 'Cause you did it, boo.